manufacture, and in such a strong fashion too. They're really going to be favored moving in through here on Haven, unless Sean had some magic he had to tell the boys before we got into this map here, into this agent select, because right now the Knights have all the momentum. They have the advantage. They're going to map number 3 at Haven. Man, that was the fastest agent select I've ever seen.
It was a very fast agent select. Also, if Sean had something to say, why didn't he say it during map 2? I don't think we saw a single timeout coming through, which is a bit questionable to me for the likes of 100 Thieves. Now, maybe they don't have pocket strats they can pull out just by calling a timeout with the coach having some in-depth read. Who knows? But it's still somewhat curious to me that they didn't take time to slow things down and talk things out.
Yeah, I don't remember a timeout from 100 Thieves last map, and that was a bit of a question mark too, because even if there's no real strat you have to give through, you can still slow down your opponent's momentum, and you can still be like, hey guys, they're targeting us here, why don't we try and fix that? It's those little micro adjustments that can make a big deal too, and I think that's really what the Knights did during their timeout, was more of a micro adjustment than a pocket strat, because they seem to have adjusted for the entire rest of the map out of that one timeout. At least for the rest of the half, they had everything they needed off of the back of the timeout, and it wasn't like it was just a strategic meeting. It was more of a fix our holes here, patch our holes, and then set sail again, try and get on to victory. But the last 2 maps are all in the past. It's come down to a best of 1 as each team has taken their opponent's pick. We come to Haven, and we do not see a chamber for 100 Thieves.
We also don't see a Sova for the Knights. We see a KJ versus Chamber, and we see a Sky versus Sova. So 2 different big discrepancies between these 2 teams, potentially indicative of 2 very different strategies in terms of an approach to this map. Either way, 100 Thieves looking to go out towards this C site. Good paranoia comes through from Frosty. He's buying some time, and in fact, the right click does connect on the one. Will, though, in turn, finds a trade, and we're on more or less even footing, but Ziff drops 1, Zip finds a second. Perfect flashpoint to catalyze the first. Will and Zelda miss the Chaos, find 2. Make that a third, but Scuba will hold it down. A very chaotic and panicky almost sort of round there with all the utility sandwiched into that very small spike site, but in the end it does go the way of the Knights here.
Yeah, it does go the way of the Knights, and it comes down to a pretty chaotic and a 1v1 there, where Stellar almost got things into his own team's favor, but the Knights are going to be able to come up with a defensive pistol round victory, and that means that the Knights have now won 4 of 5 pistol rounds. Contrast that to yesterday's 11-to-1 ratio, 400 Thieves. That's a bit of a fall off here for 100 Thieves in the pistol round. And for the Knights, it's a great pistol round showing, but is that going to really build off into an eventual map series win? That remains to be seen here. Anti-half buy here for the Knights. They've been quite competent on these sorts of rounds, been very successful at shutting down the half buys, aside from that 1 critical on Breeze. I believe that was round number
Scout destroyed.
22 or 23. Either way, though, aside from that, the Knights have been very good at shutting down the ecos or the half buys.
They have been. Stellar, though, close against a Marshall, could find something, but I think the Marshall's a one-shot body shot at that range, so as long as he hits his shot, he should be fine. Flash comes in, flashpoint, I should say. Zip finds 3, Bang finds the penultimate with that Marshall, and that just leaves Bang in the close corner with Classic in hand. He's going to be hard cleared. He's caught by the fault line as well. That insult to injury. Good utility, and a flawless, clean victory for the Knights. 100 Thieves, nothing goes their way there. And the Knights, this will be their first real difficult round on paper, but they do have a very solid bonus to go against the Rifles. If they can win this, they will be out the gates sprinting here on map 3.
Yeah, that was a really good Ziff 4K there. Great flash to start it all off. And a good double swing, too. So really, for Knights, that's exactly what you want to do. And for 100 Thieves, it's your lesser buy. It's your eco, basically. Let it go. This is where you can try and cut that gap. Now, if Knights are able to win this round, that's where things become a big problem for 100 Thieves. And, oh, I love the teleport there from Frosty. I love that setup here. We'll see if Frosty can... Oh, yeah, they heard it. They are ready for it. And that's a great counter there for 100 Thieves. And even better, this band gets demolished there by Will. The Knights are getting picked off 1 by 1. And 100 Thieves give themselves a 2-man advantage where they already had the firepower advantage.
They can keep this one clean. They might have a new breath of fresh air.
Right here.
Only time will tell, but it's a very slow round as they don't want to give away anything here. And they're slowly creeping forward towards this B spike site. There's nobody on the site proper. 2 players towards A, slowly pressuring in towards the lobby, but we do have the Sova of the 100 Thieves team watching for that exact play, and the rendezvous from Scuba will get him closer towards the C-Link, but he's still locked out of the site. Spike plant goes down for free. Derek, again, watching this flame from Gangsta and Ziff. He might not be checked here, and that gives the 100 Thieves a very good positioning now.
Nice little backstab there from Derek, not cleared out by Ziff. Flashed away, Gangsta trying to survive, will get one, and maybe a second, no. Takes Derek quite low, but cannot finish the job. Leaving Scuba to do what he can in this 1v4. I think it's going to be more about damage than anything else now for Scuba, who's doing quite a bit of damage here, but has to be very careful of getting double or triple swung from a couple of different angles. He has the lawn angle, the sniper angle, and while he gets shot from the lawn angle, will dash back away. Rendezvous back towards C site, more defensible and further away from his opposition, and it will be the saved Phantom here for Scuba. The 100 Thieves, though, a very strong anti-bonus round. And Ban goes straight for the op, and this is where things get a little messy for 100 Thieves. They have failed to find an answer to Ban's operator since Breeze. And what we saw from Ban on Fracture was nothing short of incredible. That 4K was magnificent, and that wasn't even on Jet. So we'll see if Ban can have more of the same, more of that incredible impact, and more of those great shots.
Yep, he's been rather uncontested. When he has the operator in hand, he more often than not wins the duels. And I think the main issue on Breeze, honestly, was the fact that it took so long to get an operator in hand for him. Yeah. Now that he has one quite literally on round 4 of map 3, this could spell some troubles, some growing pains for the likes of 100 Thieves as this first half plays out.
Right here.
Frosty in the cubby, waiting for them to push on through. Stellar's clearing the gaps, though. Frosty will get the opener, and there's nobody else to come from the long side of things. He gets taken out with the side players, though, and Scuba falls as well. This becomes a bit of a problem now for the Knights as Bang sprays down Ziff through the smoke. Spike's gonna go down. Stellar, in the meantime, falls to the hand of Gangsta. Now Ban's gonna come on through the flank as the op in. Catches will be hopping around. But to level things out to a 2v2, and the health a little bit lower on the Omen, it's gonna make things a little more difficult here, Bang. Buddying up with Asuna. Going back in towards C long, but it's going to be a yin-yang as the Knights are going to go the other way around and see if they can hold the line here. Smoke onto the spike. They're going to try and stick it. They had some success on the ninjas in the past, but Asuna has the first great fault line combo. It's all down to Gangsta now. They're going to not overpeak. They don't need to overpeak now. They just have to go for the double swing when the tap comes through at the last possible second. Bang, will shut it down. 2-2 now. Good response here from 100 Thieves.
It looked very dicey, though. Had Bane stuck around, he found the one falling all the way back. The last two were stuck in that little cubby area. That's a very small spot to be in, a very difficult spot to be stuck in as well. So they're very fortunate things do go their way, even with themselves smoking, the long angle that they were trying to play there towards the end. It could have gone either direction, but in the end, 100 Thieves do pull it off. Was a relatively costly one, though, but they do have a round to breathe. It is going to be a half buy rather than the full buy for the likes of the Knights. They do have one Hero Vandal on Scuba. And Bang goes for the fake TP to just sow a bit of doubt in the minds of the Knights.
Doubt can give a huge advantage to the team that instills it into the opposition. And 100 Thieves are trying to get that doubt into the minds of the Knights here. Get a lead back. It's almost a mirror of what we saw to kick off Fracture, except for the fact now that Ban has started things off. A nice sheriff shot onto Stellar. A rotation back away and potentially towards the B side here from 100 Thieves is in the cards, but no, it's going to be teleports towards A instead. But the Knights are reading this well, and there's no reason to not gamble in this kind of a round where they do have much less firepower than their opposition. Blade storms out for Will, though. He's going to get on site first and start clearing things out, but caught by Scuba. Good trade back from Bang, but in comes Ziff now under help. And this is now somewhere where the Knights could pull off a half-buy victory. Scary times for 100 Thieves. Double swing. Austin deals with the first, but Ziff and Frosty, nice simultaneous kills. And the Knights will pick up a massive round with a less economic buy. And it's a big round to turn the tide here in the early going. And a round that 100 Thieves, I think, are going to rue the day they lost it. Because it really gives the Knights a huge advantage. They could reset 100 Thieves now going in. They save a couple of guns as well. And here is the first time out we're going to see here from 100 Thieves. It definitely does come at a critical juncture because the Knights are about to become a runaway freight train. And 100 Thieves have to stop this now.
It's like Sean heard us. I said we should see some timeouts coming into map 1. This is a perfectly timed timeout for map 2. They lost a round they shouldn't have. Slow things down. Don't let it spiral out of control. Regain that confidence. Talk to the team. Give them a strategy so they don't have to think. Just do. I love this timeout coming in from Jean Garris. The question is, will 100 Thieves have the firepower to back it up? It looks like they will go for some sort of investment. Asuna already has the Vandal in hand. Now they just have to have the strategy and the confidence instilled by their coach. Again, I will say this, 100 Thieves, I think, have some of the best management and behind-the-scenes talent in terms of coaches and assistant coaches in the game currently. They have players that will listen to them, I'm sure, young and hungry players, and so this timeout could do a lot for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we'll see what the game plan is, if there's any sort of pocket strats they want to run, or if it's just fixing different holes that have been showing up in the 100 Thieves offense right now. We'll go for the investment, sure, but Derek and Stellar will not have... Never mind, they will be able to get full buys here. Though a couple players are going to light shields instead of full. Fault line will catch a couple. Ban, though, holding with the blades. Looking for a recon bolt. Not going to see it. We'll just hold the line now. Bit of a slower pace from 100 Thieves. They got stalled out in the early A main take. And they're going to leave Ban solo on A. Bit of a gutsy call here from the Knights. Very early to make this rotation. And now Ban's been spotted, jumping away and back towards the site. And he's still alone. He's still abandoned on A. This could be a problem, Nate.
If he's exploited, yeah, if they find an opening and they can get away with it, would be a massive missed opportunity. Rolling Thunder's dodge, though. Ban's in a very interesting spot. He'll peek in perfectly timed. Rolling Thunder's exchange, and he'll dodge that one as well. He'll press forward, finding a second before finally falling. He's done more than enough for his team. Stiller finds the trade, and Attacker Killjoy will come through as well from the likes of 100 Thieves, but Gangsta's on the site proper now. He's making sure no one's getting in before that ultimate goes off. Ziff as well is below Heaven in Dorzal. He's going to look for something. He finds the first. Derek pressing in from long is dropped, and the advantage is further. 2 versus 4, both marooned on the site, paranoid, and taken out of the round by extension. Gangsta and Ziff chiming in for one apiece. The Knights get another. It's 4-2.
The lack of any detaining of the lockdown really coming back to bite 100 Thieves. Instead, it just let Knights consolidate their defenses a little bit more and figure out how they wanted to play the counter, because the lockdown did nothing there. It did absolutely zero. Ziff was still sitting in hell, got the kills, and 100 Thieves are figuring they're going to go for a hero rifle with some sheriffs around it. The Knights had success in the buy, very much akin, but the fact that 100 Thieves are struggling so much right now in the early going, it is becoming a bit of a problem right now. Ban doesn't have the op. That is one thing to keep in mind here, and a bit of a window that 100 Thieves could exploit. But in the grand scheme of things, Nate, it's very concerning to see how 100 Thieves are unable to really come up with any answers aside from Breeze, and even then, that was one that could have gone back the way of the Knights if a couple more rounds would have gone their way. So if 100 Thieves cannot find an answer here quickly, it's only going to get better and better for the Knights, and Gangsta will just spam Asuna down through the door and through the smoke. That's a bit unlucky there, but again, it's the little things that are going right for the Knights and the little things that are going wrong for the 100 Thieves.
It does really feel like a death by 1,000 cuts kind of situation. 2 openings go the way of the Knights, and there's a trade eventually, but in the end, the advantage is secured. Gangsta finds another on a very slight angle from back sight. The remaining 100 Thieves players will group up. The Hero Vandal in the hands of Derek now, and Gangsta's more than ready with, I believe, a fault line or a flashpoint in hand to support that chamber. Smoke goes down towards the link. Scuba finds one, fault line comes in immediately thereafter. Well played as teammates. Flashpoint as well cements the round. One goes the way of Stellar. He's taken out, and the second falls by Gangsta's hands. Very well done from him on the site to hold things down. Very well done with the utility. And Knights are playing very cohesively right now.
30 seconds left.
The Knights are playing incredibly smooth, and when you look back again, I keep bringing up Breeze because it was a completely different Knights roster. Not in terms of players, but in the way they played. They couldn't really get anything done smoothly. They couldn't get the ball rolling consistently, and even rounds that they got on the board, 2 of them were ninja diffuses, and a lot of them were down to the wire, clutch situations, very close, scrappy rounds where it's just somebody getting kills and exploding chaos. And now it's the Knights having a lot smoother of a setup, but Derek is going to get the tag and the frag with Hunter's Fury, and Will's going to use that opportunity to bust on in towards the ace site. Gangsta forced away. Frosty is here to help out. And in the meantime, the spike's going to clear up through sewers, and Stellar's going to take that towards site. 4 of 5, 100 Thieves are on the site. Stellar spots out one. That's Frosty, but he's going to prioritize getting the spike down as he should, but Frosty has dropped Austin. That's a big player to kill. Bang is around. There's tour de force activated. Frosty gets a second, clearing the gap. Bang will get double swung. Stellar, the 1 and 2. Scuba trades it back. It's all down to Derek, but this is winnable. 1v2, but they know where he is. Smoke down on the side, but Scuba's the tour de force will finish off the Sova, and Knights will now go up 6-2, tripling their opponent's score line. And this is a dominant defense coming in from the Knights right now, and 100 Thieves have failed to find a key to unlock it. Things are quickly going wrong.
Yeah, things are spiraling. Knights looking very good again. The utility, they're peeking back and forth. One goes the way of one of their players. A second one steps up and finds the second. They're not trying to be heroes. They're playing as a unit, and that is what is just outpacing 100 Thieves right now. It looks like it's going to be a half buy yet again, but 100 Thieves, they are really struggling here on the attacking side, and it's not boding well for the second half looking forward.
No, it's not. It's becoming very concerning for 100 Thieves. And when we started, all the way back in the pre-show, we were thinking 100 Thieves were a dark horse to take the whole tournament. And now, they look to be stuck in quicksand. They can't escape from the grasp of the Knights. It's another round where the Knights have the full advantage. Nice little taps there from Frosty. Doesn't go for the full-on spray. Doesn't need to. Controls his nerve. It's the kill. Bang. Ban, rather, will miss the first operator shot. Spots out the dash and is caught in the fault line. Up on top is Will, but Zip has his teammates back. Asuna charges forward, but now Asuna and Stellar will fall. It's Derek again in a 1vx. And it's Ban with the shorty again to finish off Derek. 7-2 now in the favor of the Knights. And it just seems to be there's no stopping the Knights now. The heavy cavalry has engaged their charge. They're mowing down the light infantry of 100 Thieves.
It warmed up in a very literal sense. Everybody's doing work here. Ziff on the initiator of Sky, having so much impact. 12 kills already. Massive from him. 100 Thieves, again, everybody's sitting on the same level, but in this case, the level is far from ideal.
Yep.
Everybody's at 4 kills, barring Stellar, who's at 5. 100 Thieves down by 5 rounds, and the Knights, again, we haven't seen any signs of cracking. We haven't seen anything from the likes of 100 Thieves that shows much promise.
No, we haven't, and really, since round number 8 on Fracture, we haven't seen much from 100 Thieves at all. It's been an incredible turnaround for the Knights, and for 100 Thieves, it's where is that team we saw on Bind? Where did that team go? Or was that just 100 Thieves peaking and Knights at the bottom of the chasm at the same time? Did the stars align for 100 Thieves?
Feels like the seniority, I think, is winning out here in a very literal sense, because the Knights have been together for so much longer. They made the close qualifiers, as you mentioned before. This is a brand new 100 Thieves roster, and they have shown tremendous amounts of promise and already a lot of growth as a unit. But it feels like they are kind of just getting edged out here. 4 versus 3. Ban has them locked in over towards C. And they don't have much control anywhere. 100 Thieves trying to come back towards grass. Ban, though, he's just slinking around here in the back lines with the operator in hand. He should have this one. Yes, he does. And I spot the shoulder of Bang.
Attacker spawn
Is what betrays him. 4 versus 2 now. Derek presses forward, does grab the spike, but Ban again is still lurking around. Zit has caught Stellar in the meanwhile. And Ban, while he won't connect the first shot, he still has a perfect read. He's looking for it. Stepping out, he will finally put the final nail in the coffin. 8-2, the Knights, it feels like they're just toying with 100 Thieves at this point. They have a good read of what they're doing. They have the confidence. They have just everything going in their favor right now. And this is just, it feels to me like a lackluster end to what was a first, or a banger first 2 maps, I should say. Those 2 maps at the beginning were amazing.
Yeah, Breeze was a fantastic map throughout. And Fracture was definitely a nail-biter up until the tail end when the Knights really started to pull away. And at that point, it just started to spiral completely downwards for 100 Thieves, and Haven has not gotten better. It's just continued that trend line down from a bull to a bear market. And Ban, who has had a bull market the entire time, just continues to get opening kills with the operator. Asuna, though, a nice little deagle shot, is gonna now Rolling Thunder onto sight. This could be something, but here comes Zip on the sky. Scuba's here for support as well. And from Asuna's good success to bring it to a level 4v4, it's been turned instantaneously back into a favorable round for the Knights. And 100 Thieves cannot buy any advantages right now.
Nothing's free. They found the trade. That was something. The Rolling Thunder tried to find something more, but that was an absolutely dastardly 180 from Ziff to find that kill. He should have no business finding that onto Will. 4 versus 2. Fault line from Gangsta already eminently lined up for the contact. Asuna walking forward with the operator. Should clear this player out. Should have the kill. No, he misses the shot. Fault line will stun him, and now he's stuck in the corner. Third will come through. Zip has him trapped. Dead to rights, might I add. Scuba dropped Stellar in the meanwhile. 9-2. Operator recovered for Ban, and
last round
Knights
in the half.
knocking on double digits here in half number 1.
Yeah, 10-2 would be huge for the Knights and would be incredibly close to securing them victory on this map. 3 rounds would be required in the second half on the attacking side of Haven, and the Knights are doing everything they can to set themselves up for overall success. It's still a lot more top heavy on the Knights than it has been for 100 Thieves, but at this point it doesn't really matter if you're top heavy or not. It's 9-2. You're not really caring about that. You're just caring about getting the next round on the board, and the way Bans have been playing, you don't want to put shackles on this guy. His Ban is playing out of his mind. Scuba forced away. Will get tagged in and shut down there nicely by Will, who charges forward and now pops the blades. The first pick for 100 Thieves in quite a while to open up a round. Ban's pushed back, and he has spotted them out and pretty much funneled them in towards the A site. There's a bit of a flank from Stellar, though, but yeah, nothing's free right now.
And there we go, trades back and forth. Still an advantage for the 100 Thieves, but they've been thoroughly read. Frosty back sight now, just trying to buy time. Gangster jumping out to support his teammate dutifully. He'll find one. Frosty stunned, is taken down, but he bought a lot of time. Gangster is well below heaven this year. He finds one. Bang on the flank. That was a bit of a whip, but he will recover. He drops Bang, and now it's just Stellar. He flanked all the way in through B, but they know where he is. 1 versus 2. Again, 100 Thieves, you mentioned that they had the advantage, but nothing goes their way for free, and they've been chipped away. Ban confidently pressing in all the way on the flank with the operator, finds the final kill. 10-2, the Knights just leaps and bounds ahead of their adversaries, thoroughly outclassing 100 Thieves. It's very unfortunate, but the Knights are looking so confident here on this final map.
This is the Knights team that I think we expected to see coming into this matchup and into this tournament as a whole. Confident and looking for control. And they have really turned it up here. I think they took a long time to really get the engine going. It was basically a full map warm-up over on Breeze, and then even on Fracture 2 was very scary up until round number 8. But that timeout turned everything around for the Knights, and it got 100 Thieves into a bit of a pit of self-despair. And it's really just compounded in favor of the Knights and against 100 Thieves as this matchup has gone on since that timeout. And if you just isolate it and look at Breeze, well, they could be almost 2 different series, completely different days, because the 2 teams look incredibly different across both of those 2 maps.
Yep, and it might speak to, again, the just the sheer age of these 2 teams. Knights, they're more seasoned. It took them a while to warm up, whereas for 100 Thieves, they're very new. They don't have the map pool maybe required to take it against the likes of the Knights, who, again, are very strong in their own right. Will, this round with the Frenzy. It's a good timing on the one with the assist from the Breach. Solid start for the 100 Thieves here on the second half. Nice and well, have Preston to the side. Will a second to okay. Paranoia as well to support. This is a bit of a chaotic round. 100 Thieves looking quite good. Bang finds 1, Bait finds 2. Stellar finds the final kill, and that's a flawless, clean victory from 100 Thieves. They do it long last. Put another pistol round on the board, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while, but it's the first sign of life we've seen from 100 Thieves in quite a long time. It was a string of 8 rounds in a row for the Knights, and they finally break that here for 100 Thieves. They'll get their bonus round ready, or their anti-half buy, and into a presumable bonus round into the 3rd round of the half. See if the Knights come up with anything. Looks to be just classics, though. Headhunter for Scuba. Very minimal investment here from the attacking side. Just looking to do some damage and get onto their guns as soon as possible. Plenty of rounds to play with, although those 7 rounds could evaporate very quickly. Scuba misses the timing onto Will, but if he gets Will first, that's a Vandal on the ground. And something really to fight with for the Knights, so Will's got to be careful here not to give that one gun up to the opposition. And he does just that. Ziff runs over Derek, and hold up now. The Knights have an opportunity to take this round with classics and a Headhunter. They now have a Vandal, and Scuba's been healed up. Frosty mows down one, make it 2 on the Spectre, and it's all down to Bang to try and salvage this. No! Frosty puts the finishing touches on it. It is a thrifty of thrifties. Classics, Headhunter, and only 1 casualty for the Knights. They grab 11. There's only 3 for 100 Thieves, and there seems to be no stopping the Knights as, well, 100 Thieves had all the advantages, everything they could have done. But no, it goes south again. And I think a large part of that was going for early aggression, not buddying up, and giving the Knights 1vx duels where they were the players in the 1vx situations.
Very unfortunate. As you mentioned, 1vx's against pistols who are playing the numbers game doesn't work out too often, even if your adversaries only have classics. It's very unfortunate. Scuba drops Derek as well. The Knights looking to quickly close map 3 here and send 100 Thieves home.
Spike planted.
Spike does go down again, and it's already man advantage here for the Knights. Vault line ready for Austin to try and stun, as all 4 remaining 100 Thieves are ready to go and try and make this retake happen. Stellar sprays away, but cannot get the kill there. Tries to go through, blinded back, but Asuna does get 1, makes it 2. Stellar comes in with 1 on the Frenzy, and now 100 Thieves have the man advantage. Frosty still stands tall, though, but he's stuck in a 1v2. Low on health and double swung. 100 Thieves strike right back, and now we go into the war of 4 spies, the war of attrition. 100 Thieves will not say die, and they will not go quietly into the night just yet. They still have life, they still have drive in that fire.
Ooh. 100 Thieves still have 7 rounds, though, between them and the Knights' current scoreline. The Knights only need 2 rounds in the meanwhile to close it out. So 100 Thieves, their backs are against the wall in a very literal sense. Again, you can still pull it back. Never say never. However, this is a very difficult one to come back from. You can't really rely on something like this. And it is rifles for both teams. Derek's on the Guardian. Frost only has light shields, as does, I believe it was Bang for 100 Thieves. So the buys are showing the strain here for both teams. And Will, he's going to take a risk. He's pressing up long. Scuba is going to peek into it. It's an awkward situation. Will gets the spot, but not the kill, just a bit of damage. And it's kind of just back and forth. Kind of just an awkward situation as both parties fall away.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of an awkward situation, but Knights are still on the offensive here, trying to gain more ground towards A, leaving Frosty as the lurk towards C. Maybe can draw a rotation back. Oh, from the shadows in towards L. This is canceled. Now I think 100 Thieves have much more of a better idea what's going to happen here. Will get shut down nicely, though, by Ziff. Rolling Thunder comes through. It doesn't really stop much, though. Bang's gonna have a couple of smokes, but Ban has a couple of kills instead. Spike's gonna go down as a 5v2. And 100 Thieves are getting struck right back down again, as they had a massive round, the one prior with this one coming up empty. Scuba with a pair as well. 12-4. 1 round away from the series victory now for the Knights. A flawless victory in the round.
Match point.
And it's an awkward situation for 100 Thieves, as they are now 8 match points behind. They need 8 in a row to tie it and take it to OT. And their buy will consist of a couple of Vandals, a couple of Spectres. Make that 3. It is do or die, it's make or break. And the Knights are grouping up for some C control.
Really do hate to see it. Again, this ending does not feel like the ending we deserved. Again, this matchup for the first 2 maps, absolutely insane. Again, probably due to the just how young the roster is, but still, I don't want 100 Thieves to fold here. Keep the dream alive. Ban, though, running in, finds 1. Bang is going to trade with the Spectre, but he's being bullied by the utility. Will survive for the meanwhile, and he does have 2 teammates to support now, but Knights do have the sight. It's going to be a chaotic one. Frosty pressing forward. exchanges some shots, no kills in that direction. Will just find it. Zip though drops
remaining.
Bang in the meanwhile. Gangsta and Scuba chime in and make that Gangsta for the final
Attackers
kill.
win.
The Knights cap off the final map in a very dominating fashion, 13-4. A massive win coming from them as they will now continue on into the semifinals.
Yeah, I was dubious about their chances, especially after how Breeze started and even finished. But Knights have made me a believer again. The way they finished off Fracture, the way they utilized their timeouts, and the way they absolutely dominated here on Haven.
Too late.
Knights are looking fresh. They're looking clean.